Hello, I'm Haley, and this is Advanced Concept Presentation number 5, I believe. We're going to be cleaning pennies. So first off, we are going to get all of our supplies, and so I'll just kind of show you. I have vinegar, some just white vinegar. I have some regular salt. And then I do have my pennies. I'm going to try to, which I'll see all of these supplies here. So here I've already poured my vinegar into this little plastic cup. I've got my salt here. And I have this little rubber thing just because I don't have a plastic spoon, but we don't want to use any metal because that might mess up our reaction. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pennies here. And then a couple of glass bowls. And I'll kind of leave you at this angle just so we can see what's going on here. So first we're gonna put our vinegar into the right bowl. And we're gonna pour our salt in there. And we'll use our little plastic thing to dissolve it. And after this little clip, I'm gonna do another little section just talking about what the reaction would look like in a chemical equation, just so we can see kind of why the pennies are being cleaned and how. We're gonna stir, stir, stir until that salt is dissolved into the vinegar. I think we are pretty good and dissolved. I don't see any more salt. And then in this one, I'm just going to put some tap water. And that will be just for rinsing. So hypothesis, I'm going to leave you right there, but hypothesis first is going to be, we think that the pennies will be cleaned by the vinegar and salt mixture. I think that it depends on how long you leave the pennies, and so I'm probably going to leave it, and then I'll come back and show the reaction. So we'll take all of our pennies, and we're going to put it into our vinegar salt mixture. All right. I'm going to get my computer right there just so you can kind of see. All right. So I will give it a few minutes and then come back. All right, so here I'm just going to be showing kind of the chemical reaction behind what we're doing today with our pennies. We're taking our vinegar and we're mixing it with salt. So I have this little visual here, and this is our acetic acid. Just kind of, we've talked about that in previous labs as well. So we have this formula for our acetic acid, and we're going to combine it with our salt. And so when we do that, that gives us this hydrochloric acid and then our sodium acetate as products. And this is important because the salt gives us this chloride to where we can have this hydrochloric acid, which is really important in our cleaning of the pennies. So once we do have this hydrochloric acid, here is our formula or equation for what's going on. So the pennies are mixing with the oxygen in the air because the pennies are made out of copper, and they're creating this copper oxide that's on the pennies. And so when you mix that with the hydrochloric acid that we talked about from our previous reaction of the salt and the vinegar, you get copper chloride over here, and then just water. And so that's kind of how that works. The copper oxide, which is the product on the penny, is mixed with our hydrochloric acid, and it breaks it down and gives us this product of water, and then our copper chloride. So there you have it. That's how it is cleaned in the equation. All right, and so we'll come back with our final product in the experiment. All right, we're back with the end of our experiment, where we put our pennies in the vinegar and salt mixture to see if it would clean the pennies. And so here's our final product. I left the pennies for about 5 minutes. I think the longer you leave them, obviously, the reaction will continue and clean your pennies even better. So I'm going to try to put this over here to where you can see it. And this is just my water over here. So I'm going to take the pennies out with our little scooper, if I can, and stick them on this paper towel. And they're definitely more clean than they were when I first put them in there. Shinier. There's still a little bit of spots that look like, honestly, just dirt. I don't know if you can see this. But we have our shiny pennies. And so we could leave some of them on the paper towel to dry. And we could also leave, and we'll put some in the water too. So we'll put these in the water just to stop the reaction. And then we've got these 3 that we can leave here. And so what should happen with these 3 that I'm leaving on the paper towel is that they could form that salt that's left on them, and the vinegar, when they broke down that copper oxide, now it's left with that salt and vinegar, and I think it mixes with the oxygen in the air to create, what did I read, malachite. So, and that would be the bluish greenish substance that we saw in the video, the instruction video, I guess. So there you have it. We have a couple of shiny pennies. We have some that might turn blue later. We shall see. But anyway, that concludes our interactive concept presentation. Today is April the 17th. Anyway, I'm Haley. Thank you so much.